Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. December 31st, I'm here in Central Oregon in the Cascades, cruising around, and really unusual snow conditions for this old Rocky Mountain guy. The snow is really warm, the temperatures are warm, and this is more like spring skiing than what I'm accustomed to. Nonetheless, it's a beautiful bluebird sunshiny day. In my last video, you might have seen that I unboxed a set of Alfa boots. That's what I have on today. Let's take a little closer look at these boots. Now, these boots are a very different design than the version 1 of the Alfa Free, and I've been skiing the Alfa Free version 1.0 since December of 2021, so I've got several seasons on them. It's a great boot, and these, if you look at them at first brush, you're going to think, wow, these look just like a cross-country boot, a typical cross-country skate boot. And while they look an awful lot like a typical cross-country skate boot, they're not really like that at all. They have a hinge here that allows for a lot of flex. And you can imagine, if you've skied the Free version 1.0, you know how stiff this whole upper portion of the boot is. And they have essentially, on the old version of the boot, they've got two boas. And you pretty much have to loosen this upper boa in order to get enough good flex up here for the kick and glide portion of the tour. Let's take a look at how this thing laces up. Let's get the strap out of the way. Okay, right here is the boa, and that essentially goes up to here. You can see the boa cords, the wires. There is a bow on the outside of the boot, and it adjusts the tension on the lower portion of the boot. If I loosen it up here, you can see, if I tighten it up, you can see it tightening here. The upper part of the boot is controlled by these laces, and this is real similar to what you see in a traditional cross-country boot. And you can see the flex, a lot of good flex here. Then they've put this gaiter on the outside to cover up the laces, and there is a cinch strap. So far as I've been skiing this, one of the things I really like about this version of the boot versus the Free's 1.0, on the Free 1.0, the toe bend was up here, and this is a size 42, and I can see where the toe bends on here. It's a little further back. It's definitely a lot more comfortable. And in fact, the little I've skied these boots, these are just a much more comfortable boot, at least on my feet, than the version 1.0. Now for downhill control, on the back of the boot, they've got a locking mechanism. This is real similar to what you see on AT boots and plastic tailmark boots. I haven't done very much in the way of steep downhill with this, just some gentle turns on some gentle terrain. And it's a pretty good performing boot. It's much better performing boot than any cross-country boot that you're certainly going to buy. A lot of people might debate whether or not it's better or worse on the downhill than the version 1. I'll have to ski it a lot more and more conditions and to come up with that affirmative, but I thought I'd just give you a little bit of a first look about this boot. So far I'm liking it, feels real comfortable. So let's go do a little more skiing with it. Well, my first impression of this boot, very positive. They're very comfortable on my feet. Biggest downside, of course, is that they're pricey, especially here in the United States. If you're looking for a cross-country downhill boot, something that can kick and glide as well as give you some support for what people often refer to as cross-country downhill on wider cross-country skis, this might just be the ticket. And if you tried the first version of the Alfa, but you were unhappy with it, with the way it felt, maybe you had toe pinch problems like a lot of people did, these might be worth a look. So far for me, I didn't have a lot of toe pinch with the first generation, but I could see where others might. The bend on this is definitely a little bit further back, and they're a little more flexible. So like I said earlier, if you like to ski with your ball of your foot on that rear ski, this might be the ticket. Well, I need to do a lot more skiing with this, and this is the last day in 2025. I guess I'm going to get drowned out by an airplane. And if you haven't noticed already, I've changed locations, like a fish out of water, trying to find some places that were as great as what I had out in Star Valley. But I'm sure they exist here. I just have to look around and see if I can find them. One thing I'm going to have to do is get used to skiing around a lot more people. Julie and I were cross-country track skiing earlier in the week, and there must have been 200 people out on the trails. It's really an eye-opener for us, especially coming from Wyoming, where very few people cross-country ski. But that may be a good thing. Maybe I'll meet some new people. At any rate, until next time, be safe, be kind, and be sure to have fun.